Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Uh, in last class, I said you must have to prepare all question and answers in synthetic fibers and plastics. Are you all prepared?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Yes. So today I will give you some questions. Learn for these questions answers, and next class, I think Tuesday, Thursday class, you have to write exam. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So note down questions. I will write on board.
Sir,
Yes.
I was not able to write the seventh question.
Seventh.
Sir, you gave many questions last class.
No. Last class I didn't give question. Just I told you, no. Just to prepare full chapter synthetic fibers and plastics. So
Yes,
now I
sir.
will give you. Now I will give you questions. For these questions, you prepare answers. And next class, Thursday class, you have to write exam. Fine. First question is, define natural and synthetic fibers.
Sir, from these
With
questions,
examples.
you'll
Yeah.
conduct the test.
Yes. From these questions only, I will conduct test.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I had missed one class.
Hello. What?
I had missed one class.
Sorry, I'm not getting your voice.
Sir, I had missed one class.
Okay, miss one class. Okay. Then, okay. Till where you did you wrote notebook?
From
What did you wrote in last class in your notebook? Tell me. Hello. Otherwise, you contact your friend, you take notebook and means screenshot, and that points you note down in our notebook and prepare for exam. Last class, I taught structure of polymers, right?
Sir,
Classification of
polymers
polymers
on the
based on
basis of
structures.
structure.
Yeah, that point only we discussed. So those who didn't write notebook, collect from your friends and write the notebook, prepare for exam.
How will we write the exam?
How? Take some papers and write. Just you switch on the video, I will observe. Okay. After that, you take some pics and send to sir WhatsApp. Okay. After writing test. Then third question. Characteristics of synthetic fibers.
Sir,
Yes.
what is proton?
Disadvantages of synthetic fibers. Only these 8 questions only.
So what's the eighth question?
What type of pollution caused by plastics?
Sir, done.
Yes. Note down, all of you note down and prepare those questions only for exam.
So how many marks exam?
25 marks exam.
Okay, sir.
So you'll give only this or you'll give something else?
Sir,
Yes.
the same timing of the exam, sir.
What?
Same timing. Time.
Same time exam.
Yeah, yes, same timing, 4:15 to 5:15, 1 hour exam.
Okay, sir.
So after finishing exam, should we send a photo to you?
What? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So we don't have your number.
No problem. You send to Harsher. Sir will send you. No problem. Okay, guys, completed all questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this chapter is completed. Synthetic fibers and plastics. Now new chapter, metals and non-metals. So write second chapter name, materials. Metals and non-metals.
Yes, sir. So for the test, we have to learn those questions and you have to write.
Yes, only those questions. Whatever I gave you, 8 questions, those questions only you have to prepare.
Okay.
Okay. See now, metals and non-metals. I hope you guys, how is the periodic table. In that periodic table, all elements are arranged. That is like this. Did you observe in your school? Don't know? Like this. This is called periodic table. Here, elements are arranged. Think gold, silver, iron, platinum, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. These all elements are arranged in this tabular form only. That is called periodic table. Okay. In this periodic, now nearly 118 elements are known elements are there. 118 elements are known elements. In that elements, most of the elements are metals only. Only 80% of elements are metals, and few percentage is non-metals. And there are some elements, those having both the properties, metallic properties and non-metallic properties. Those are called metalloids. Finally, elements in periodic table classified into 3 types: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Okay. Here now we'll discuss about first of all metals. Here metals are again 2 types. Some metals we are calling noble metals, and some metals we are calling reactive metals. Also called rare metals or native metals. See, platinum, gold, these are called native metals, because in the nature those are available in the form of directly gold particles. It is available. Even platinum also, it is occurred in the nature directly particles, small particles. But some metals are there, those are called reactive metals. Like iron, it is a reactive metal. Copper, it is a reactive metal. Sodium, potassium, calcium, many metals are there, reactive metals. Why we are calling these are reactive? In the nature, these elements occurred in the compound state. Suppose iron is there. Iron directly we can't get iron particles from the earth crust. That is actually available in the form of Fe2O3 or Fe3O4. Means it is a combined form. It is, these elements are occurred in combined form. Suppose this sodium metal. Sodium metal also, it is also reactive metal. We can't get directly from the nature. All of you know common salt. Common salt formula is, what is common salt formula?
NaCl.
NaCl. NaCl. So here it is a sodium is there. Na means sodium. But that is available in combined form. That sodium metal is combined with the chlorine atom. So that is combined form. Those elements are called reactive metals. But platinum and gold, these we are calling noble metals, because those are not in combined state. Directly small particles of gold and platinum is occurred from the earth crust. Got it? The point difference between native metals and reactive metals? These elements are, platinum and gold elements are occurred from nature directly in the particles, small particles. Those are called native metals. But these elements, iron, gold, sodium, potassium, calcium, and all other type of elements, chromium, nickel, cobalt, those elements are occurred in the form of combined form. Combined form, that element is combines with other element and forming compound like this cup. NaCl is a compound. That is a combined state. But gold and platinum directly small particles is available. That is a gold particle. It won't combine with any element. Platinum also small particles are available. Okay, guys. Any doubt here? Till now, known elements are classified into three types: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Now we are discussing about metals. Here metals again two types: native metals, reactive metals. Elements which occurred in native form, those are called native metals, platinum and gold. Reactive metals, most of the metals occur in the combined form like this: Fe3O4, Fe2O3, NaCl in combined form. Some metals are available. Those are called reactive metals. Okay, next. Physical properties of metals. I think you know very well about this. Listen. Okay. Physical properties of metals. Almost all metals are solids at room temperature except mercury, which is a liquid at room temperature. Yes, no? Almost all metals are solids at room temperature. Only the element mercury, that is in liquid state. That is also metal, but it is at room temperature, it exists as liquid state. Next point, melting and boiling point. The melting and boiling point of metals is very much higher. Do you know what is the meaning of melting point, boiling point?
Yes,
Huh?
The state at which it melts.
Yeah, to convert its state, we have to melt. After that, by further heating, it converts to vapor. Okay, first of all, see its state, physical state.
solid.
Three type of physical states: solids, liquids,
And gas.
gas. Suppose you take one ice cube. Ice cube comes under which state?
Solid.
Solid. Ice cube is solid. When you heat this, and if you supply some heat, this ice cube, it will becomes
Liquid.
liquid. It becomes to water. So that is liquid state. Changes to liquid state. Further heating of this liquid,
Gas state.
that water converts to water
Vapor.
vapor. So that is we are calling gaseous form. Vapor. This is a physical state. So not only for ice cube, all elements, all the materials which are present in nature, those all exist in three states: solid, liquids, and gaseous state. Even metals also. Suppose I am taking iron metal. Iron is, what is the physical state of iron? At room temperature.
Solid.
Only. Right? Iron, it is a solid. If you heat at high temperature, this iron, solid iron, become liquid iron. Iron is changes to liquid. Further heating, iron also converts to vapor.
Vapor.
But here we need to give more temperature. Very high temperature is required. During this process, high temperature is required. But here less temperature is sufficient. Just 5 degree, 4 degree only sufficient to convert ice to water or water to water vapor. 100 degrees centigrade is required. But here thousands of 1700 degrees centigrade, and here nearly 4000 degrees centigrade is required. So in case of metals, we need to supply a large amount of heat to convert it into liquid state and further to convert to gaseous state. Okay, this is about physical state. Now listen, what is melting point and boiling point? Melting point, listen. The temperature at which a substance of physical state, physically solid state, is changes to liquid state. That temperature is called melting point. See, Generally, ice at 0 degrees centigrade, it is a solid. If you give some temperature, ice changes to water. Means it changed physical state, solid to liquid. So that temperature is called melting point. Suppose iron is there. Iron is solid. To convert iron into iron liquid iron, we need to supply large amount of heat. That heat is called, or nothing but the temperature is called melting point. Fine? Any doubt? Next, conversion from liquid to gas. This is called boiling point. What is boiling point of water? Boiling point of water. At
100
which
degrees
temperature liquid converts to, means water converts to water vapor?
100 degrees Celsius.
Very good, 100 degrees centigrade. This is for water, but suppose for metals, that value is very bigger value. It's more than 4,000, 5,000 also. Okay. Next, listen, melting and boiling point. Melting and boiling point of metals are very high. Metals are generally solids and hard, except sodium and potassium, which are soft metal, and we can cut with a knife. Mercury, gallium are also exception, which are liquids at room temperature. Okay. Generally, metals are very hard substances, hard materials. That's what those having higher melting point and boiling point. But here also some exceptions are there, like sodium, potassium. Those also metals, but those you can cut with even knife and blade also you can cut. That much soft metals those are. But normal iron, can you cut with a knife? Is it possible?
No.
No.
Yes, sir.
Iron we can't cut with normal blades and all, we can't cut. Because iron and copper, silver, gold, those are very hard metals. Like sodium, potassium. These are soft metals. Even we can cut with a blade and small knife also you can cut. That much soft metals. These are like a cake only. How is cake pieces? Very soft. And you can cut with knife. Same. These are also soft metal. You can cut with knife easily. And some metals, those are exist as a liquids. Of course, these are metals, but they exist as liquids like mercury, gallium. These elements exist as liquids at room temperature only, but these are metals. Next point. Luster. Metals have shine of their own. This shine or gleam is called metallic luster. Suppose when you cut a metal with a knife, wherever you cut that metal, that looks very shine. Yes, no? Suppose gold, why we are using that gold jewelries and platinum? Why only we are using those metals? Ornaments, gold and platinum.
Shiny.
Because they are more shiny. Yes, no, that's what.
So they are more luster.
Metals are shine of their own. That property is called luster. Luster means shine of their own. TRE. Next, malleability and ductility. See what is the meaning of malleability and ductility? The property of metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheet is called malleability. So suppose you take one metal piece, hit that metal with a hammer, long
Like
time you hit,
aluminum sheet.
it becomes like a sheet. Correct now? Metals we can make it into sheet. So that is one of the property of metal. That property is called malleability. And ductility, you can draw into thin wires also. See, electrical wires, copper wire, these are very thin wires and very lengthy also. So metals we can make it into sheet like, and we can make it into wire like. So metal, that property, a metal is making it into a thin sheet is called malleability, And
Sir?
a metal is drawn into thin
Sir?
wire is called ductility. Tell me.
Sir, what is the definition of luster?
Luster means when a metal is cut with a sharp edge tool, that metal looks shine. It is called lustrous. The shine or gleam of metal is called luster.
Okay, sir.
Okay, next, conductivity. You know, metals are very good conductor of heat and electricity, right?
Yes.
Metals
sir.
are good conductor of heat and electricity. Some metals allow electricity to pass through them more easily than other metals. For example, copper and aluminum allow current to pass through them more easily than iron and lead. Silver is the best conductor of heat and electricity. So silver is the best one to conduct heat and electricity after copper and aluminum. But however, uh, silver is more costlier element. Silver. So that's what we are using copper metal. The electrical wires, almost 90-95% of electrical wires are made by copper only. Next, tensile strength. Metals have high tensile strength. They can be stretched to a great extent without breaking. Yes, that's only we are calling ductility. Metals we can stretch for long time, means because of its ductile character. That's what only we are making it into thin wires. Next, sonorous. Metals produce a ringing sound when struck hard. They are said to be sonorous. When you heat a metal with any stone or another metal, other pieces, it produces sound. The property is called sonorous. Okay, these are the physical properties of metals. Okay, guys, write notes. Right. Elements have been broadly divided into three groups depending on their properties. Three main groups depending on their property. First one is metals, non-metals, metalloids. These elements shows in bracket.
So can you give some examples of metalloids?
Yes, I will give you. These elements show both metallic and non-metallic property. Example for metalloids is silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, okay, etc.
Done, sir.
Okay, then next one is right, small subheading metals. Right, metals are those elements.
Sir,
Yes.
can you say examples?
Right, examples also. Metals are those elements to form positive ions or cations. To form positive ions or cations. Hmm. Next point. Few elements occurs in free or native state. Example, gold, silver, platinum.
Sir, done.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Finished, sir.
Okay. Now down. Next second point is this is okay. Continuation. Next point I will write here. Continuation point. Reactive metals like sodium, aluminium, zinc, etc. occur in combined state. Next subheading, physical properties of metals.
Sir, done.
Done, sir.
Now, physical properties of metal. The first property is first one. Almost all metals are solids at room temperature. Except mercury, which is liquid metal at room temperature. Second point. Melting and boiling points of metals are very high. Next, here only sodium and potassium are soft metals. And can be cut with a knife.
Sir, even foil can be cut by a knife, no, sir?
Which one?
Foil. Foil paper that we use every day.
Foils. Yeah, that is aluminum foil, but it's very thin, no? That is very thin. That's why we can cut with a knife and scissor also. But if you take somewhat thick aluminum metal, we can't cut with normal knives and scissor. We need a strong cutter to cut. But sodium and potassium, even you take this much big size metal also, you can cut with knife. Because those are soft metals. Luster.
Sir, knife spelling K.
What? See, metals have a shine of their own. This shine or gleam is called metallic luster.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So done.
Then next, fourth point. Fourth point. Metals are malleable and ductile. And ductile. So right, what is the malleability and ductility definition? The property of metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheets is called malleability. It's called malleability. Next, definition of ductility. The property of metals by which they can be drawn into thin wires. Drawn into thin wires is called ductility. These are very important points, malleability and ductility. The next point. Right. Conductivity. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Continuation. Example: copper, silver, copper, aluminum, allow current to pass through them. Pass through them more easily than do iron or lead. Silver is the best conductor of heat and electricity. Next point. Metals have high tensile strength. Last point. Sonorous. Metals produce a ringing sound when they struck hard. They are said to be sonorous.
Done, sir.
Okay.
Done.
Done.
Yes, guys. All of you completed?
Yes, sir.
Still anybody pending? Right, I will give you 1 minute time, complete this.
They're done.
Yes, okay.
Sure.
Next, subheading, chemical properties of metals. Okay. So earlier I said metals are two types, reactive metals, noble metals. So listen carefully. Metals which react chemically with other chemical substances like iron, sodium, potassium, aluminum. These metals easily react with some chemicals like acids, HCl, sulfuric acid, and other chemicals also. These metals reacts. Those are metals we are calling reactive metals. And we have some other type of metals like gold, platinum, silver. These metals do not react chemically with normal chemicals, simple chemicals. That's what these metals are called noble metals. Okay, here elements having different chemical reactivity. One element react with substance very fastly, other elements reacts very slowly. So here, depend upon their chemical reactivity, elements are arranged in the decreasing order of their chemical reactivity. It is called metal reactivity series. So we have few metals. The top metals are more reactive. Top metals are more reactive. Down metals are less reactive. So here, arrangement of metals in the decreasing order of their chemical reactivity, it is called metal reactive series. It's very, very important. What is metal reactivity series? And that metal order, everyone must have to learn this order.
Sir, should we write?
Yeah, I will tell you, wait. See, most metal react chemically with other substances. Most metals react chemically with other substances. With other substances are called reactive metals. few metals which do not react with common chemicals. Do not react with common chemicals. Are called noble metals. Example, silver. Okay, I will write names. Silver, gold, platinum.
So done.
Okay, now very important definition, metal reactivity series. Metals are arranged in the decreasing order of their chemical reactivity.
So like, is it a table?
No, only one line of elements. I will show you. Metals are arranged in the decreasing order of their chemical reactivity is called metal reactivity series. Okay, I will write here full. Metal reactivity series. Very important definition this is. If you complete definition, I will give you a list of elements.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay, done? All of you completed?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
just
Okay, guys. Further concept I will give you in next classes. Okay, however, already I said you have exam on Thursday, so be prepared.
Sir,
Ah.
can you move?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you writing?
The last line.
Okay, right.
So the test is day after tomorrow.
What?
The test is day after tomorrow.
Yes, your test is on day after tomorrow.
Done.
All of you prepare and you need to write almost all questions. All the questions answers you have to write.
don't need to write the questions.
No. You already written no questions in paper.
Sir,
Yes, only okay. Once again, you write that questions. Question paper separately note down and answer paper also separately. You have to write exam in front of me. You must have to switch on your video. Just audio you stop. Only video you switch on. I will observe. Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, Dia.
Bye.